Hi and welcome back to Shuu's Adventures in TERA. Today we'll be looking at two of the dungeons, the level 10 and the level 21. It's really impressive to see just how vast the world of TERA is. Just within maybe 10 levels you're going to see all of this. You're going to see giant cities, rolling prairies, dark forests, and the insides of dungeons. I know some people on the forums were worried about whether or not there would be collision detection with mobs. So here I'm showing that you can run into mobs, you can't walk through them, and the people in videos who do manage to do that are using some sort of dashing skill. After leaving the beginner area, you'll finally run into this darker zone. There's some mobs like hula hooping knights or some weird triangle bird face thing, and you'll get to kill all of them. I'd say around level 10 is probably the end of training mode. It's a little harder to fight mobs. They actually do damage to you, you do less to them, and some of them are smart enough to use evasive maneuvers. Some, if they see you winding up a spell, they'll actually move back or jump to the side. And since you only have one or two skills at this point, it's a little tricky. Okay, so, what's an MMO without dungeons? Obviously, since I'm playing the Korean version, it was a little hard to find partners, so I actually soloed the first dungeon on a priest. You'd think that sounds cool or exciting, but I actually just ran in circles for a long time. And, well, I learned that if the NPC does more damage to the mob than you actually don't get the quest finished. Oops. Anyway, if you do have to solo, and even if you don't, the game does provide you with a pretty useful NPC. He heals himself, and he can die, but he's a really good tank, especially if the boss kind of concentrates on him. He does actually do pretty decent damage, which is really useful while clearing out the rooms beforehand, but once you get to the boss, if you don't outdamage him, you won't be able to complete the campaign. One of the cool things about this battle, and also kind of unfortunate, I guess, is that he does a lot of damage if he runs on top of you. He'll just continue to damage you over time as he runs past. So don't let him jump on you either, because that takes out probably most of your health. It does a little over 1,000 damage to me. Okay, so this is actually my first run of the dungeon. As I said, it didn't finish campaign since he did more damage to me. So what you see in this video, don't do it. Don't do anything I do because that's kind of dumb. So make sure you attack the mob at every possible moment if you have to solo like I did. Standing around and letting that guy kill it is kind of funny until you have to do it all over again. After finally finishing that, you're on your way to the city. You actually won't really do much there. There's a couple quests to talk to NPCs, that's about it. Go talk to one guy, go talk to the other guy, then you're ready to leave. I did actually pick up two new skills for the priest. The first one is a heal. It casts a few meters ahead of you in a circle, and if you walk through that, you'll start being affected by heal over time, which right now heals about 200 HP per tick. You also get a new AoE. This skill hits hard. It also hits him a few times, so it's incredibly effective, especially after having to use that horrible little fan AoE. I think maybe the weakest part of TERA is the quests. Now, they're not really bad. They have perfected the basic quest system. It's very easy and intuitive to use, but the main problem is that every quest so far has just been some combination of the same kind of quests we see everywhere. This was just a simple escort quest. I talked to an NPC and walked him over to another NPC out the exit. He wouldn't move if any mobs were around, so you pretty much have to fight his path clear. And in the next excellent quest, you open a chest and fight some mobs. And then you open another chest, and then you fight those mobs. And sometimes a chest is surrounded by mobs, so you fight them, open the chest, and then fight some more mobs. At this point you do get a couple new skills. One of them is the long-awaited aimed heal. All you have to do is use it, aim towards the person, you get a special different kind of sight than you usually have, and then just click and they're healed. Here we are at the long-awaited level 20 dungeon. Much like the last dungeon, I am playing a Korean game. Don't know any Korean. Don't really see any people around, so it's just me. But actually, many thanks go out to the Flawless Guild. Friend of mine is level 50 and was willing to run me through so I could still show you guys the dungeon, and so I could finish my campaign. This dungeon's a lot bigger than 2 rooms, unlike the other one. You just have to clear out all the mobs and then place this bomb from your inventory onto the piles of boxes and explode them. It actually takes a few tries to explode each pile of boxes. So feel free to take bets on how long it took me to figure out that you could just put the bomb on your skill bar instead of having to keep opening your inventory and clicking it. Just wait. There are actually 2 bosses in this dungeon. One of them he killed too quickly before I even saw it to take a video, so that was cool. But there is a final boss in here, and the only thing I can say is that, well, he's kind of hard. So, the real question is this the end of Shuu's adventures in TERA, or do res items exist? Find out next time.